Oh my god. Please don't crap your pants. What's good? What's my snare? 1 2 1 2. Listen, this is how you gotta start. We're talking about Andreas sharding his pants. We're back again. the most viewed, prestigious. I can't keep lying. Nobody listens to this shit. But that's not the point. The point is we're actually back. Now probably everyone was wondering why we haven't done one of these in a while. What do you think the reason is? Alexi, what do you think we haven't done one of these in a while?
Probably because of the crap intros.
Listen, they're beautiful, they're marvelous. Okay, you're in this. How can it be crap? Guan, what are your thoughts? Why are we... What do you think we haven't done in a while?
Probably spoken
All
about
right, enough said. What he's trying to say is we haven't done one because you gotta deliver in doses. You know what I mean? We're like sugar, man. You have too much, next thing you know, they're chopping your dick off. So you don't really want any of that stuff. Actually, no. What happens when you get a little sugar? They cut your toe? What is it?
What?
Diabetes? What is it called?
Diabetes, but I mean, you have to ingest a heck of a lot of sugar for that to happen.
I'm circumcised. What do I know? All right.
Yeah, from diabetes.
All right. So we have a lot to talk about today. And none of this will make sense. None of this is uplifting or building. This is straight poop talking. I'll say that. We got with us what we got. We got Guan, the chosen Guan, the wonder Guan, the Guan and only.
Dog man.
The dog man, the dog one. And then we have Alex in the back, probably masturbating.
Yep.
All right. So let's start this off with like a very like recent thing, right? And now we never even talked about this, but I'm actually very curious to hear what you guys think, right?
Oh no.
All right. Actually, boys, let's get right into it. Okay, this is it. You know we do
Top
this.
5 anime
Top five anime betrayals that happened to you. You don't have to say who or what or the situation is. It doesn't have to be serious stuff. I felt really betrayed recently. I'll tell you why. I went to McDonald's. When was it? Yesterday with Anastasia, right? It's a big deal.
Did you say you don't have to say who and then you immediately start with the name?
No, hold on. But Anastasia wasn't the culprit.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
All right.
He's just a side character. Okay.
There is nothing more disappointing and more sad when you go and order food and your food comes and you bite into it and it has everything you don't want in it. Honestly, if I went home,
problems.
If I went home and someone shot my mom, I'd be like, hey, that's life. It happens.
But man, you put lettuce in my burger? You're in trouble.
I bit into it and I got a big tasty, by the way. Big tasty. And I bit into it and I bit the onion. I don't get vegetables on my burgers, right? Because I don't want my lunch. I don't want to taste my lunch as lunch. You know what I mean? I don't want to know what the cow was eating. I want none of that. And honestly, Anastasia would tell you, I didn't finish the burger. And I looked excited and happy eating it, but I was miserable. One of the worst things that I ever had to do was that. I honestly looked at the McDonald's side and it seriously grew horns. It started like killing the Turks or something like that. I saw my past. I saw me getting bullied. It was dark, man. Yeah, on that nice note, that was one.
That was your one.
That was my top 5 consists of just
your
one.
Number one? Or was
My number one.
Listen.
Nothing in my life was as miserable as what happened to me yesterday. Guan, tell us the time of disappointment. Tell us the time that you were let down by someone or something.
Can't think of anything.
So Guan is perfect, by the way, if you haven't picked up on that. He has a
said I was
perfect life.
He's never had a problem.
He's
with
never had
anything.
anything like that happen to him.
Nobody's ever done anything wrong.
What about when you buy something that's not that good? That's a problem, right?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like when you...
When you order something, it's not right.
All right, why are you George Bush all of a sudden? What the hell happened?
Sorry. You mean like when you order something and it's not what you...
That's one of the worst things.
When you order something.
I ordered a mask once, a predator mask. Predator mask. Predator mask. And when it came, do you know how it was meant to be like from my head to my chin, right? It was just this, Alexi.
You've seen it.
Have you seen my predator mask?
No.
The Alien vs Predator.
It looks like
the face thing.
It looks like something. It looked like something people wear at swinger parties.
As far as,
Oh no.
it goes as far as
Wait,
his
it's
nose.
just the mouthpiece.
Yeah, it was like just this. It was like you could see everything else.
So
I look like a
it's the
predator,
most explicit-
but not the one from the
It's
film.
just the most explicit mask you've ever seen. Then
I thought it was cool. When you look at it, it's cool.
like I'm assuming
When you
everyone
put
who's
it on,
listening has
do
heard
not
of
so
Predator.
much.
Like it's just the mouthpiece. That's it.
Yeah, and there was no. I was like,
George, what shop did you go
20
to?
20 euros for that.
What shop did you go
20
to?
euros. I don't know. It wasn't in English.
It sounds like you went to the wrong store.
I did go to the wrong store, man. Honestly, for real.
Some kinky store.
It was some really weird shit. I mean, now everyone's wearing those Black Panther masks. Like, that's gonna make you, like, black somehow.
Is that called?
So it's race. Yeah, I was about to say, all these white people wearing the Black Panther mask. I mean, it's cool, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But then they try to say, like, speaking an African accent. I'm like, is that offensive or is that paying tribute?
Are they doing
What,
the
just because they're
Ugandan
white?
thing?
But there's some white people.
But if you hear a white man trying to put an African accent, isn't the
Unless
first thing
he's
you think?
from Africa.
Well, he's not from Africa, which is why he. Where?
You know, actually, that's the weirdest thing I was about to say. Nobody's claimed that the Ugandan memes have been racist.
Oh,
Nobody.
Do you know that way?
Exactly, and how is that? How nobody's claimed that?
Honestly, in the annals of cringe, that rests in the center.
Yeah, and obviously that's all to do with Black Panther.
It's
That's
the
what
most
film's about.
unfunny meme I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it is pretty.
I still don't
unfunny.
understand why it was Knuckles.
It was because of some video.
Okay, that was probably the funny thing. How cringe-worthy the design and the animation for that was. But that aside, man, it's like, well, what's so funny about it? Do you know the way? Every time someone comes to ask you for direction, now what, you gonna start laughing? But
I think he started from that guy who was saying, why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Where's that from?
It's a vine from it's obviously from a TV show or something.
That sounds like my dad. Once I left the house because my dad was beating me up, and he told me, he's like, "Why are you running? You know,
I'm not gonna beat you more.
And I came back and I got a belt in the mouth. Goddamn.
And then the next time you ran away, he's like, why are you running?
Yo,
I just kept on running.
honestly,
Back before child abuse was a thing.
No, no, honestly, my dad was the most. He disciplined me a lot, and it sounds like abuse. It was discipline, because once I don't know if I told you the story. Abuse stories 101. I was in the car, right, and I was driving back, and my dad was like, "If the car breaks down, will you help me?" Wait, what?
I was saying you should probably put it in the middle so you can okay.
Actually, yeah, that could, but then it might make sounds. Okay, that interruption. Wait, let me turn it back. Ah, you hear that sound?
Yeah, just saying, just making sure it fixes.
Oh. So yeah, my dad was like, "What? Yeah. If the car breaks down, you're gonna help me, right?" I was like, me being a smart ass kid, so fucking. I swore, fuck it. So intelligent, big ass head. I was like, "No, it's not my car." Before I finished my sentence, this fucking flying hand just comes out of nowhere, just whacks me in the head. And then my dad, I swear on everything, this happened. My dad then stops the car, gets me out to push while the car is still on. So I can learn my lesson. That taught me a lot, man. Listen, that was creative.
What a great dad.
He wasn't abusive, he was creative.
Exactly. That is a sign of a very.
Every time I was trying
man.
to push a car after, I'm like, I know what you did. You cussed your dad. That's probably what
Insidious yet genius.
happened. No, for real.
Man, your dad. I just want. You know what? Your dad honestly should just do the punishments.
Oh,
at
Alex,
school.
you won there when we watched Annihilation.
No, but my dad loves everyone. He was just hard with me because he was like, I don't want you becoming some trashy ass kid that ends up nowhere in life. So here I am at 27 playing Fortnite for 7 hours a night.
If your dad still did punishments like that now, I'd love it.
No, he wouldn't.
I'm just saying.
I've been trying. Man, okay, all right. Go on. You have to. I want to ask you about this, right?
Oh,
And this is very random. When you dive,
yes.
do you ever have the urge to pee?
If you need to pee, yeah.
Do you just pee
No.
in the wetsuit?
You could say.
No, because it would make the wetsuit stink of pee.
But then you'll be warm, right?
Does it not like?
Yes, but
doesn't it just,
then
like-
you have to sit there and clean the
Does it
wetsuit.
not just go into the?
No,
the
it's still, it goes into the wetsuit as well.
So we
jeez.
stay in there circulating
no,
around.
the pee goes out, but part of it will obviously stick to the
Oh,
wetsuit, so it will
yeah.
stink of pee.
But what if you want to remember the drink?
I drink the drink, not pee.
So that automatically rules out pooping.
No, honestly, I thought about that. Like,
Just
what,
rip a hole. I don't know.
if you're down there for how long are you down there for?
Depends.
But then for those who don't know, Andrea dives a lot. Still, do you? Do you know? Even with the bad food?
Yeah, I can dive fine.
Okay. You sound so suspicious saying that.
You sounded like you said bad food.
Yeah, I did.
And then it took me a second to realise you said foot.
My nose is stuffed, honestly. It feels like the Lange house in my nose. Oh. No, what I mean is there's a lot of people. Okay? You know what I mean? Shout out to the Langes. Big up. Honestly, I told Jacob this. If there was ever an Armageddon and there's one family that would survive, it would be them. For real.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I don't know either. Let's move on. Anyways, that Ugandan meme was the worst thing ever. But I did want to know about
How
that.
did we go from diving to Ugandan memes?
Oh, well, I don't know. We jump subjects like every podcast.
Have you ever been diving, Alexi?
No, but I want to.
How are you not terrified?
No,
all you hear is just like.
No, at one point I wanted Dread to take me. He said he was up for it at one point, so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe
Hang
I'll
on,
get a chance.
hang on. You say that you're afraid of that sound, but if you've ever watched Star Wars, that's how they made Darth Vader's breathing noise.
No, but I wasn't underwater watching the film. You know what I mean? Like,
No, but no one was.
you never know.
How would the sound work?
I don't know, man. Headphones and shit. But it's the weirdest thing.
You got waterproof headphones?
I thought about that. Might be the scariest thing. I would never want to. I love the sea. I love documentaries about the sea. It's my favorite thing. But I would never want to go and do what you do.
Fair enough.
And then I was like, oh yeah, well, there's some giant eels coming out, some dragons coming out of the water. But it's okay. It's safe. If it bites you, don't worry about it. He told me a story when his dad almost drowned. It was the most
I
horrifying
didn't
thing.
think my dad almost drowned.
Do you remember the oxygen? You were like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
oxygen.
That doesn't mean you're almost gonna
But
die.
how doesn't mean
like,
he's going to drown?
That's just. I think that's like.
It was not like he was
If
alone.
that was me, I would have
four
had a
of
heart
us.
attack. I would have died there and then.
Isn't that like a normal occurrence though? Like someone can just run out, like you know.
No, it happens when something goes wrong with your equipment. But,
Yeah.
I mean, look, you normally check it, but there's some things you can't check and they go wrong in the water.
Which is why you have to pee in your
Actually,
wetsuit.
no, it's not.
Keep
No, it's
the
not.
warm.
That would drown you more.
Keep
'cause
you
don't have
calm.
Yeah, what?
I was gonna tell you. I forgot. Did I ever tell you? Yeah, my dad was like did a lot of diving as well.
Seriously?
Yeah. It
Okay.
didn't cross my mind because obviously he did it long before I was born. So
Yeah.
I think he used to do it with the Greek army and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, you mean he did OIK?
I don't remember.
So
I don't
what's
know
called?
what division
OIK
it
is the Navy SEAls for the Cypriot army.
I don't know.
But
I think Joe mentioned something.
They're
like that.
crazy.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout
Probably in the
Whatever
army
we're
right
told,
now.
Special Forces, my man.
Listening to
Special
some garbage
Forces,
Napa
you know.
music. He's a friend of the show. That's what we're gonna call them. Joe Biden says that on his podcast, and I think it's great. Friend of the show. It's when someone comes on or listens. So there's like 5 people, friends of the show. Yeah, I would never dive. I would never dive. Also because my breathing is weird, right? So that would get in the way.
It depends. You go to a doctor to get checked out and see if you're allowed to dive.
Kadishimu. If I go to the doctor, I'm gonna come out of the hospital.
Oh George,
I
please.
think I'm gonna throw him in the furnace so they burn all those body
please do
parts.
diving. If I go, I want him to go so badly.
You know what I
It was-
would do?
it'd be so
I would
funny.
do the ones that you kind of the snorkeling. You stay on the surface, you kind of look around.
Oh, but that's not
That's
diving.
not diving.
Do you know what my greatest fear is? I'll tell you, the one animal when I was a kid used to make me cry. Guess. It's a water creature. It's a mammal.
The seahorse?
Octopus?
Oh, you said a mammal.
Octopus?
Okay. Dolphins?
Beluga whales.
What's
Why?
that?
When I was
Wait,
a
what's
kid, I used to go.
dolphin
I
with
used to
the-
go to my barber.
It's like I don't know. It's kind of
Big white.
It's the white
dolphin whale thing.
Whale that is normally in the Arctic, and instead of
Killer whale?
and no, it's black.
They look like
Black
Phil.
and white.
You know how
Black
Phil
and
has
white.
Phil has a bump on his head.
Oh, those things.
Yeah.
How did you get that?
Shout out to Phil. It was good.
I'm sorry.
Shout out to Rose. Shout out to Eli.
Yeah, those things. Why do they creep you out?
And when I was a kid, they used to scare me. You
Why
know what it
would-
was? Because a picture of them, I imagine being in the water alone, and that big thing is there. I don't know why. Now I look at
Hang on,
them.
what about a narwhal that has like a giant spike?
Yeah, that's a glitch. That's not even a. That's
Sometimes
not
they have
an animal.
two.
That's a glitch. That's a glitch.
That's a
not
glitch
even
in
an
the
animal.
system.
Are they almost
Why does
extinct?
that scare you? Why does that specific animal scare you?
Not sure.
I don't know. It was.
It looks like it looks.
Alexi,
it
I'm
looks
in
really dumb,
Druli.
if
I'm in
anything.
Druli. The best TV show we had was Static. You know what I mean? And that was on a good day.
Where's the blue screen?
Usually it was when TV was switched off,
TV was
you'd see
working,
more. No, but honestly, it freaked me out, man. It was the way it would look. It was looking like that.
What
'Cause-
about sharks?
Okay, listen. When I love sharks though.
Also, the
Yeah.
stupid thing with a bump
But
on
they
its
still
head
look
scares
terrifying.
You, but sharks
They
don't.
scare me. I remember seeing a tiny shark, the Prodaras aquarium, if you even want to call it that.
It is an aquarium.
It's
Yeah.
a giant water ball.
Oh.
No, it's
Listen,
an aquarium. Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me when they're like this close to you, because I'm like, oh my god, that's an actual shark. I don't know why the story doesn't sound that terrifying, but when you're a small fat Turkish kid and everything wants to kill you, sharks look extra racist. Especially when they call it the blue tips or something. The
There's
white
different ones. White
George, I'm
tips.
pretty sure they
Let me
see
get
everyone
some-
as
let me
food.
get some
They're not
oxygen.
racist.
No man, but Prodaras was scary. Also, I had my first. Oh, this gotta be a weird story. I'm gonna say I don't care. So I'm like 15, 16, right? And I'm sitting there with my parents, and this group of girls is there, right? Yeah, Alexa, that's the phone. What are you
I'm
doing?
moving it up so that it's not the microphone's
No,
not
no,
running down.
it picks everything up. It's really
Oh,
good.
okay,
It's
okay.
really good. Yeah. Okay. What just happened? Did you just want to lower the window?
Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone hears any sounds, it's not
Yeah, it's
us
gonna-
letting gas.
It's gonna pick up
It's
everything
probably
from
the
outside.
cars outside. Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. What happened was like this group of girls was behind me, right? And I looked at them. Remember, I'm fat, ugly, and Turkish, right? There's nothing can work. I look at those girls, and they one of them looks at me back, right? And they all at the same time start laughing out loud.
You were out when you.
I don't know if that was a compliment. I don't think it was. But my dad was like, it's like, oh, embuse volamos, pues. It's like, get out of here.
Your dad's like, I'm gonna cut these girls.
No,
off.
no. No, my dad was like, oh, it's because you're so handsome. But then, no, come on, he giggled after. He's like, yo, you ugly ass
he
kid.
was trying to be nice.
Yeah, he was. My mom was just like, ah.
Your mum's just laughing with him.
Oh my gosh, no, it was the most embarrassing thing
Oh,
ever.
did it? How old were
Because
you?
I had to go past them. That aquarium scarred me for life. Not only I had to deal with the sharks,
George, how
the guy that lost his thumb to an alligator or a crocodile, whatever they had in there. Yeah, the guy was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. You can get close, but man, I mean, they can't really reach up to him, right? And the guy was missing a finger. He was like, I was like, how did you lose this? He's like, oh, one of them bit me. It's like, first of all, this month, one of them ate you, and I'm gonna go
That's
near
not
it.
very encouraging.
Yeah, I'm not going to first time, dude.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was like 15, 16.
Oh, it's okay. I thought you were a lot younger.
The world was black and white back then, wasn't it, George?
The 360 was coming out. I remember that.
Wow.
How old was I? George, I was
Were you
9.
born?
I was 9.
9. Speaking of 9, Con.
Larry and
Yeah.
Gary.
Larry and Gary.
He might have the worst names of anyone online. You know,
I love his name. That's the
Are you-
funniest name.
I don't want to say Snapchat just in case someone hears it.
Oh no.
Nah, like anyone hears it. All right. His Snapchat name is Bingo Flamingo.
Larry and
He has a
Gary.
thing about rhyming, and his brother's name in the game is Shamingolo. Do you know how he got that? Apparently his brother's friend works at a zoo,
Shark Flamingo?
and there's a flamingo, and they call it Chamingolo.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, going back to his.
I want
his
this to
rhyming
end up
thing,
with Con being a boy.
I think his names are pretty good then. Like, you know, Larry and Gary. What was the other one?
Bingo Flamingo.
Everyone likes
Bingo
the name.
Flamingo.
Everyone
I
likes
like
Larry
that.
and
Yeah,
Gary.
Larry and Gary is such a.
It sounds like a
such
Cardi
name.
B remix. Larry and Gary. Larry and the
Yeah,
party.
it sounds like
Larry
a
and the party.
cartoon. Yeah.
Also might be the worst. You know, let's talk. I'm gonna throw shade at this motherfucker. Worst people to play online with, because they would never accept your invites.
What, Steph?
The only reason.
Oh no.
Shout out to
No,
Steph.
I meant Con. You have to go in Con's, like, you know how it's so uncomfortable. I have to go in his party, like, not invited. Like, if I catch it, not on private, I would have to sneak in the actual party. And it's so awkward because it's a bunch of German guys. I'm like, are they plotting for the Jews? Like, what's happening? It's really. Yeah, this is. I can't upload
you
this.
talk about my people.
I can't upload this. Anyways, no, Con is one of my all-time favorite people. Because he's one of the most genuine men I've ever met. Oh, actually, you know what it is? When guys say men instead of guys, it sounds like you have feelings for them.
Extremely
Yeah, because he's one of the most genuine men I've ever met. He
Like, that's
treated
gay,
me right.
but that's very gay.
Listen, Con is my boy. Not in that way.
Like, if I turn
Maybe-
around to you,
maybe
George,
in that way.
If I turn around to you, George, I'll say you're my favorite man. How gay does
I
that
hope,
sound?
Alexia, I hope so.
Yeah, it sounds very gay.
I hope so.
Yep. Yep, that sounds very gay.
Listen, Alex, don't make me get in the back seat. We had this all day
No.
after all.
You hear a car
There's
door
by the way,
opening,
there's
that's
a
me
couple
running.
next to us. If people can hear this, it's participating in some fluid exchange.
I mean, there hasn't been much movement, so I think I don't know. I think they're taking.
Or it's murder. One of the two. I don't know. Whatever the case. Go on, tell us stories. Like, we need to have a segment called "Stories from the Deep," where it's just go on talking about either times he got laid or
stories from the deep. Stories from the deep one.
no. I hope your mom won't listen to this, right? Will she?
No.
Where are you
Hi,
going?
Maria.
Do you have to go pee? Oh, you just took the belt off. Oh, but we're in the car, by the way, so people know. They're like, what belt? Why are you taking your belt off? Stories from the deep.
He's getting ready to tell us all these deep stories of
Tell us
intercourse.
Tell us of the depths of. Come on, Andrea's dead. He's gone.
Yeah, we've lost.
Honestly,
him.
though,
He
tell
killed
us what's been going on. What you been doing. How your dive's going. Do you wear something? Oh my gosh, this is the best and worst podcast ever.
Definitely the worst.
Oh my gosh. Guan stories from the deep. I'm gonna put like a little ocean sound as well.
George,
And then like a moan sound after it.
George, both the ones I've been on, I feel like I've been the worst ones.
Oh, this is too good. We're gonna get flagged.
Oh, you kidding me? Your channel's probably taken down by now.
No.
It's not even uploaded yet.
No, forget it. Your channel's down. Like, we haven't uploaded it yet.
Oh
It's
my
down.
gosh.
They know. They know.
Stories from the deep. Tell us what's been going on. Like, what are you doing now? Like, you were out for a while. You were in Napa for a bit.
Oh, doing a study on invasive species.
Like what? What? Like Turks? I could say that, people, because I'm Turkish. Hence why I'm here. I mean,
Invasive
No, like
species
different
number one.
marine animals.
what
It's just
do
to
we have?
monitor it to see how.
But what do we have? Like that's.
Currently, there's like lionfish. There's different species of smaller things, but it's so hard to identify them that
Why?
because they're so small, and to properly identify them, you have to get DNA samples. But the experts are in other countries, so to send it costs more money than you're actually given to do a project.
So do you have to touch these animals?
No, not always. A lot of the time we do it with photos.
But do you have to get in close proximity?
Yeah.
When did it start? This fascination with the depth.
I mean, was it mostly
Ages
through
ago.
diving? Like, you started diving before you went to uni?
You know when he told me?
What, me?
I
Yeah.
couldn't-
Oh, well, why I
I
started
couldn't
diving?
stop laughing
Like,
when
why
he
you
told
got
me.
interested
Oh, I got into
in,
my,
like...
The
my
last
dad. My
person I
dad.
would
My
expect
dad.
was you.
My dad's always done it, and we went to a dive show where they like advertise different new dive equipment coming out, stuff like this. And I tried it like just in a little pool when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Came out to Cyprus that summer and then did my course. Started
Yeah,
diving.
Slightly
you started,
bigger
you
pool.
started working for that diving place, and
Yeah.
you obviously your pay was
called
to
diving
just do it
free?
for
Is that
free,
one?
wasn't it?
It was I got discounts on
Yeah,
courses.
and then you also got
But
to
I started.
do it with
I
classes
started.
and stuff.
Yeah, I started diving when I was 10 though. And that
Mm.
was years. So I've been diving
Yeah.
for nearly 11, nearly 12 years now.
Mm.
Do you ever get freaked out?
Well, underwater.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
once you go a certain depth, and you're like, okay,
I mean,
I mean, the first time I went on I feel like I've said this again now in the last podcast. The first time you sort of go on the Zenobia, it's a massive 150 meter long shipwreck, and it just appears out of nowhere. The rest of it, you can only see sections of it,
yeah,
and depending on the visibility, you can't always see the bottom. So you're just like, this is big.
yeah, I think that's.
So it
why
can be a bit
people-
daunting the first time you go on it, but once you get used to it, you're just like, oh, this is normal.
okay. Alexandra, Alex Nordal goes diving. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Who?
Islanders from diving. Alexandra Nordal.
Okay.
Do you remember Tracy from Youth Club?
Oh
Her
yeah,
sister,
yeah.
I
No.
remember.
love Alex. She's awesome. I don't know, man. I honestly admire that. I would not have the heart. How deep do you go in there?
Yeah, you talking about diving?
Diving.
Just... Trust me, George's face gave it all away. We know what we're talking about.
Oh my god, I was trying to be serious here.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were.
sure.
But you were like
Just the wrong subject.
hiding that smile.
I was trying hard, bro. But honestly, like,
What, diving wise?
how long does it take before you can like go down by yourself?
You should never go down by yourself.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, you don't need someone right next to you, kind of like
No,
like
you,
watching
Well,
your time.
I guess when you're doing training, basically.
Yeah.
that's
well,
what you're
once
saying.
you've done once you've got your qualification, in theory, you should be
How
able
long-
to do it on your
How
own.
long does that take then?
Anywhere from a week.
Like, do
to-
you have to do a certain amount of dives? Do you think, or is it like,
You have to read you obviously read the manual, like the book
Yeah.
that has all the, and you finish all the like quizzes and stuff and tests in there.
So
and
you
then-
went from school to school.
It's like a school thing, yeah. But you have to learn, and then you do a set number of dives in like a pool or somewhere confined, so it's easy for you to get out of.
Did
so,
this promote your like love for sea life? Is that how you ended up doing your?
I always
uni?
loved sea life and stuff, but this made it even easier because I could actually see things. Back to the course, as you were asking me. You do a set number of dives confined, and then you'll do open water dives to sort of get you used to diving in open water depths more than like a couple of meters. And then once
Is that the water when it's all black?
no,
That looks terrifying. You
that's
know when
like,
you.
that's like
when you-
50 meters.
Oh
You have
my
to go- you have
gosh,
to go
that's
quite
so
far down
scary.
before light can't hear, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look, as you go down, light starts to disappear. So after like about 15, 20 meters, the colour red disappears.
Really? I thought
Everything looks blue that's red.
For real?
You shine a light on it though, and it shows up red.
That's so scary.
Why?
Have you ever? Is there okay? What is the scariest thing we have in Cyprus that we don't know about?
In the water.
A lot of people wouldn't know. Yeah. Like you were like, what? This is here?
Nothing really.
Sharks?
There are sharks, but
They
then,
caught a tiger shark off of Limassol.
but there's just sharks that could be just get lost. That's not necessarily.
Does that have anything to do with like world, like what do they call it again? The climate changes and the warmth?
No, that shouldn't have anything. Climate change has to do with the temperatures of the water, which will affect fish and like their tolerances.
So the feeding of
no,
the
no, no.
shark changes.
The conditions they can live in and survive under. But that doesn't necessarily mean that sharks will come here for those. Like, that could bring sharks to migrate from like the Red Sea and stuff, but that's not necessarily why we like getting the
With
odd
the
one.
Red Sea?
Egypt.
Wait,
Suez
hold up.
Canal. That's right next to us.
No, it was in the Dead Sea. What's the one with the salt water?
The Dead Sea, yeah.
The Dead Sea, the Red
Okay, we
Sea.
went to-
All seas
the
are
Dead
salt
Sea's
water.
the
Did
one
I
that's
tell you when
mostly
I
salt
almost
The Dead
died?
Sea's
I almost
super
died
salty.
in there
No.
trying to
yeah.
get a seashell for Ellie.
Wait,
So Ellie's fault.
It's all Ellie's fault.
Ellie, my goodness.
Oh,
Stop
we gotta-
killing people. Just
You
because
know-
he's Turkish.
It's called the Red Sea as well. I mean, what a place to die.
No,
Yo.
No, that's
there's
the Dead
two
Sea.
different ones.
Have you
There's
been
two
there?
different ones.
Red Sea's in Egypt.
The
Dead
Dead
No,
Sea's
in Jordan.
The Dead Sea is the one off
It's close to
Jordan and
Jordan.
Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Dead Sea. You're talking about the Dead Sea.
If it's off Israel, then it's the Dead Sea.
No, because Jordan's also off the coast of the Dead Sea. It's just on the other side.
No, the one that has the salt is the Dead Sea.
Yeah, there's Dead
Yeah,
Sea.
Well,
No, I went to the Red Sea.
Red Sea's an actual. No, Red Sea's like the Mediterranean.
Is it the
Where
one where
did
you,
Red Sea
is it the
take
one
us?
that you float?
No, we've been to that as well.
But
That
that's the
was-
Dead Sea.
And then we went to the one that you can go in.
That's-
They actually
Is
said
it
not
the
to
sea?
touch the coral reef. There was a coral
Yeah, you
something.
shouldn't
Oh,
touch
maybe
coral
maybe
reefs.
this was the Red Sea.
That's the Red Sea.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We went in there, and I'm in Cyprus mode, so I'm thinking everything is like maybe the best thing you find is like a starfish.
No, it's so full
I'm
of life.
diving. I didn't know that there. I looked down and I was like, seashell. I was like, Ellie's gonna really like that. I should have known better. I mean, it's something, it's not an iPhone or something like that, right? It doesn't have value. It doesn't have merit. But whatever.
Ellie wouldn't
I
appreciate
go
it.
down.
Sentimental,
This was
correct?
like 1.5 meters down. No, 1.5 meters, like 2.5 meters. The more I go down, because it sounds easy in theory,
Your ears start hurting.
my ears start going,
Pressure.
and I swear all these motherfuckers would start coming out everywhere. Urchins. A black sea snake thing was flying by, because it looked like it was flying. This other like brown fish, every kind of sea life started coming out. And I almost tried, but you know why? Because I panicked. I went halfway up, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm going to get this for Ellie. So I go all the way down to pick up the seashell. I take the seashell, and I see one next to it. I'm like, let me touch it. I go to touch it, and this motherfucker, it comes out. It was like the hood, man.
So wait, he
this
like
guy,
just gets
this
up.
creature, whatever, this crustacean comes out of it. So I'm drowning now. I'm swallowing water because I couldn't stop freaking out by how much sea life was in here. So I take the stupid seashell and I use it to like pedal a bit. You know what I mean? It was big.
The coral reef is the project.
I
of
go
the
up.
ocean.
I go up and I tell Reti like what happened. Of course she's like, oh, that's really sweet, but that's also the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Whatever. That's one problem with that. I'll get to what upset me about that. Then we go to jump in a swimming pool, Lexi. And I jump head first, right? There was one problem with that.
It was a very shallow pool.
I opened my eyes and my mouth. And I was like, this is odd. Why am I in pain? They have salt, like water from the sea in the swimming pool.
It's a saltwater swimming pool.
Oh.
That was some disgusting ass.
Why?
Because
to be fair, why though?
I was like, my eyes started like hurting.
Because it might be easier than. I don't know how it works with
Well,
chlorine.
I know that it's good because it's safer because you float a lot easier in it. But other than that, why?
I don't know.
You know how much.
Because it's dirty. That's
What's
why.
dirty?
Because they're this. No, the
Are you saying
the
the
hotel.
Jordans are dirty? What are you trying to
yo,
say? Here?
yo, hold up.
You're just saying they're dirty.
Hold up. No, absolutely not. Jordan is one of the most amazing places I've ever been in my life.
Oh, fair enough.
Those people in that hotel were fine. The only problem was the water looked clean, and once you got in it, your face was like disintegrating. But that's my fault. Because then on top of that, I tried to RKO my friend Dan there, right? And then I land back first, and then I spin around, and again, same thing. Like everything starts hurting. Anyways, that's a story for another time.
You just don't have a good experience with water.
No, water's not my fan. I come back to Cyprus, right? I give that to Ellie. Do you know her reaction was? Like, oh, this is really cute. Just puts it away. never to be seen again. Once we were at her house, and I was like, "Oh, what happened to the seashell?" And she was like, "What seashell?"
Oh my goodness.
I think that she threw it away,
Did you
bro.
tell her about this?
She threw it away.
I mean, she might be hearing this now, but did she know about this when you got it for her?
Of course, man. Of course. Listen.
She knew you almost drowned
Listen.
getting it.
I am
you
when it
scum.
comes to Ellie, I am the most biased person. I'm
Yeah,
so
I know.
biased. Cause that's the homie. That's the sis. I love Ellie. She's incredible. Now, hold up. Solomon, on the other hand,
Oh, I love Solomon.
you want he told us to
I
talk
think
about
that's
it.
where-
Let's
the
do
problem
it.
is, you know what the problem is? That's where my bias lands. I love Solomon.
I love Solomon too.
I love Solomon so much,
But
yeah.
every time I see him, all I see is red. All I hear is that don't make the sound effect. The one that in the video you showed us.
The one when we were watching earlier.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's all I hear. So I
Oh.
yo. No, I mean the albino one.
Wait, the
Uh,
no, we'll do it. Okay, we'll do it.
Solomon might be everyone's favorite and least favorite person.
Exactly.
Alexis Alexi different.
No.
evokes
I have a lot of stuff I hate about him, but I still love him.
When I see Solomon, I just wanna punch him, and it's not a violent thing. It's like it's Solomon.
George, I think your anger stems from hearing Karen yelling about he's not allowed burgers, and I think that
then he
automatically
got
triggers
Wait,
you.
what?
Then the motherfucker
And
got the
you're
burger.
imagining that she's
He
yelling
got-
at you, so that triggers you.
Okay, honestly. Okay, Solomon, we're just messing around. I love Solomon. Honestly, because you
He's
know what?
alright.
You can talk to him about anything, and you're not gonna be no, we can't talk about that because it's forbidden in my book of how to be a good person, but secretly be a shithead. It's none of that, right? I love Solomon. You can talk to him about anything. I love people like that. You know what? He doesn't get credit how funny the boy is, right?
I mean, he did. We used to give him loads of crap about everything he said.
Well, yeah, when you get woken up at camp,
It's almost happened.
it wasn't even 30:30. It was 7:30. It was even worse, dude.
What did he do?
The song. He used to sing
And you-
to George.
And he used to wake me up. Yo, I was the worst camp leader ever. He woke me up by waving on my face, and I would jump on him and start punching him.
Oh my goodness.
No real
Wait,
punches.
I remember. Was this the same year that
Yes,
Andrea,
yes.
Andrea creeped on you?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Pointing out.
We've said this already in the podcast. Please refer to
I just want to
podcast.
know if it was that same camp.
Yeah,
that's all.
please refer to previous podcasts.
Yo, I love that. And the best thing about that was, I imagine if I was like someone walking by, and I look in one of the tents, and I just see this leader just beating up this guy.
Or
What
better,
freak-
better yet, one of the little boys on top of the leader, just
No,
screaming out the thing.
well, that sounds really weird.
Exactly.
Jeez, no, I wasn't. I was next
Just
to him.
saying.
I was next to him.
It's okay, George.
I-
You're trying to prevent this.
I am the worst. No, honestly, it must have looked really weird. No, I didn't. No, you know who got the worst?
What?
The worst was with Ellie when I almost accidentally broke her neck.
What? Did this happen?
This happened at this. Listen.
What did
by the
Ellie
way,
do?
By the way, let's be
Did-
honest.
did you remember the seashell?
Ellie is made out of like. Do you know
Lego.
that cheap Chinese glass that breaks when you touch it?
What
That.
the stunt glass?
Yeah, she's made out of that. I mean, she almost got killed by a table, dude.
What?
It was just her at the table. There was no one there.
How did that happen again? I remember you
Yo,
guys saying this.
honestly, I joke now, but when I heard it, I actually got really scared. She got up a bit fast and she passed out. You know, when your blood, rushes to your head or something. So Ellie, being Ellie, instead of falling gracefully, goes head first at the edge of the table.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I don't know she got hit here thing. Yo, honestly, when I heard about it, I remember I run to the hospital. Because I was like, oh my gosh.
You ran.
I didn't have a car.
I was joking, but you actually ran.
Yeah. I got to the hospital and
Covered in sweat.
yo, I must have looked so. I got there and Karen, my mom was there. My mom was working at the time still, and she was like talking to Karen. I'm like, okay, that's already bad. Mom is like nagging Karen. And Karen's like probably just like, oh my gosh. Mom's there. Mom's like, don't worry about the girl. It's okay. I go inside. Ellie looks like a panda. Like Ellie looks like every.
We're backwards though, because it'd be white
Ellie
and
looks
black.
like every girl
When was
after the
this
club.
again?
You know, with their makeup and their mascara is like melted.
Yeah. When was this again?
2013, 14,
Yeah, I do remember being when I was away.
maybe 13, but I don't remember exactly.
I heard something about it, but I didn't get that.
It was
story.
honestly,
I
it was
just heard,
scary. It
something
was
about
scary
her
hearing
injuring
about it.
herself.
But yeah, anyways, so I give Ellie like this move, like we're discoveries. Karen is like talking to us about something, and then we have break, and I'm like, this pretend, the fake push that I do.
Yes.
Ellie didn't get the memo, so Ellie like kind of falls a bit. Now anyone else falling like that would have just gotten up with, at worst, maybe
A scratch.
not even a scratch, maybe some
Like a
dust,
small
some dust
bruise.
on them, and then Brian will come and force us to clean it up. What happened was, Then I get a message from Karen saying, "Oh, George, do you mind? Thank you for distorting the sound, by the way. By moving it.
I thought you said it was good quality. Didn't need to.
Yeah, but you don't move
Yeah, but it
it.
sounds weird when you turn it around.
Okay.
Right, so you know what happened? She's like, "Oh, can you pray for Ellie?" I'm like, "Sure." What happened? Like, I'm wondering, did that other table get the best of her? Do you know what happened?
What?
She was like, "No, she's in the hospital because of a neck problem." And I'm like,
Oh no.
I did it.
I feel so bad. I apologize to Karen. Not to Ellie. No, I did apologize because, man, that was one of the
George,
scariest
listen.
things.
If I heard that you like nudged Ellie and she fell over and broke her neck,
I'd say it's Eddie's fault.
I would probably laugh. No offense, Ellie. I would probably laugh because that's a little bit much.
No, listen.
George, you animal! How dare you?
This is why I love these people. Like they're so nice. Even I won't say any names. We all know people that if you even touch them,
Don't you taser me.
you know what I mean?
man.
Like I know way too many people like that. If you like, who was it?
I'm not gonna say names. Who was it?
No, I can
Go
name
on, you can say
drop.
names. You
I
can say
can
names.
I can name drop someone that's
Name
not there
drop
anymore.
all them names.
What's her
That's
what's her
not rare
face?
anymore.
Alexia, that's it.
Oh yeah,
You touch Alexia.
No, that wasn't. No.
Alexia jumped in snow and broke her foot.
The problem with
The
Alexia,
snow was deeper than
no,
her. How
she-
the heck did the
she
foot get
knelt
through?
in snow, and that messed up her kneecap or something. That was the weird part.
It was a weird situation. I was like, how the
That
heck?
was the thing with Alexia though. It wasn't.
How does
that-
the softest thing break you?
No. You know who I'm thinking of?
Wilson.
Missy.
Oh my
She used to
gosh.
fall over all the time.
Ellie's like Hulk Hogan next to Missy.
Yeah.
For real.
Like Missy would just fall over. She like if I turn around at any point, she'd be on the ground. She'd just have fallen over somehow. Like no matter, like I don't know.
That's true. Do you know what happened was we played basketball. Anastasia was like blocking. Anastasia turns around. She runs into Anastasia, flies off, lands on the ground. Anastasia keeps walking. He didn't even realize that she hit him.
Just this like tiny rock just hit him. He's just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Then he looked down. He honestly looked down, and she was there. He's like,
On the
oh,
ground.
she was so short. I love Missy, by the way. Shout out to Missy. There's no way she'll listen to this, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe she's listening.
You never know the fans, the endless fans. Shout out to Missy for all that. I'm animal
Oh,
one
what
busting
were we
the.
talking about before we got the It's Solomon. That was it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Can we
We're
not
on
talk
the
about
Solomon
Solomon? No, I
subject.
love Solomon.
Uh,
Solomon is the single most infuriating human being I've ever met.
I don't know.
Really?
I played Pokemon with him, right? He, of course, being
What do you
the
mean you played
piece of
Pokemon?
crap that he is. I'm being nice by
You
saying
know
that.
who I'd love to lock in a room
What?
together? Solomon and Steph.
Don't.
Oh.
Can you
don't-
imagine what Solomon would do
Yo.
to Steph?
Oh my gosh! What you mean?
Would
What
you-
Steph would do to Solomon?
No. I mean physically, yes. But I'm saying
Steph
Solomon
would
would just.
him to death.
No.
He'll mess up his breathing pattern by just going.
he would absorb all the air in the room by doing that. He would just cause the room to like implode and kill the both of them.
Honestly, no, Steph would be very good on like an airplane. He does like pressure loss. He's like, don't worry about
He repressurizes the plane.
it. Shout out to my boy
Oh, this
Steph.
man, we're just crapping on everyone. Like,
Oh,
Who's next?
on
Lisa.
Steph.
Steph.
like
No,
Steph,
listen.
Solomon.
Honestly, if I had to marry a man, it would be Steph. No, Con. But it'll be Steph. Steph will make I told him, he'll make the best housewife.
You would kill each
He
other.
cooks.
You would kill each
He
other.
cooks. Honestly, sometimes when you sleep over, you wake up and make breakfast and be like, breakfast ready.
George, you wouldn't live that long. You guys would have like a few days left.
You'd
You
have
guys
a
would
fight.
Murder each other.
We
One
would.
of you would be dead in a week.
Steph is my boy. I love Steph. No, honest, jokes aside, one of the best friends anyone can have. And I don't know. Honestly.
I can hear him now, just over him watching.
Can you imagine him giving you CPR? Like, that's it. The person's definitely there. He'll suck all the water out.
No, he'd suck the air out.
Literally breathes in their lungs. Like, just-
I can hear him blinking now. I can hear him listening to this blinking right now.
You mother.
they go,
he's the best.
oh my god,
He's-
those guys?
We're gonna get some deep messages for this. But you motherfuckers, you
yeah.
pieces of shit. And we deserve it, so it's fine.
I'm gonna steal all your guns on Fortnite.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Please don't go.
No, now you guys
Yeah,
know,
don't go.
after this gets uploaded, next time you play Fortnite, you guys are gonna be in trouble. I'm
This
just saying.
honestly, it's over. It's over. You gotta get like a million. He's gotta wait for you to go online. Steph ain't no bitch.
You be sort of connect first.
You're gonna get like a
By the way,
phone call.
Steph ain't no bitch. Jokes aside, Steph might be the most low-key dangerous person I know. Do you know what happened once back in the day?
No.
What?
This guys went up to this. For example, we were in the mountains. It's the same day that Alexia got hurt, coincidentally.
Wait,
Alexia
say
or
that
Alexia?
We were in the
Wait,
mountains with the
Alexia
youth.
or Alexia?
Yeah, no,
Me?
Alexia. No, you.
Oh,
Alexia. We're in the mountains, and this Steph is waiting to get. I mean, he's like what, 15, 16 at this point. He's waiting to get like his sandwich from this like stand or whatever it was, right? And we're all waiting. This group of dickheads comes in. 6, 7 jacked up guys with their Akita dogs, right?
Uh-huh.
And one of them wants to cook his own sandwich because he didn't want the woman to do something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I didn't notice this at first, right? And the guy's there doing
Where,
that.
where was this?
In the mountains, you know, the square?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steph doesn't say anything. Steph is in his own world, you know, kind of probably thinking about, you know, just the oxygen up there and everything. Dude, Steph, the guy, one of the guys tries to get in front of Steph. Steph turns around and is like, Re, he made all of them shit their pants. And then he the guy that was cooking, he kind of told him off.
Oh my
And they all left. 7 grown men, jacked up, or probably full of oil and steroids, with their kid. Steph
They probably thought Indian
scared
Kung
the
Fu.
shit out of them.
They probably weren't jacked up.
No, he has a terrifying loud voice. And I remember telling him, I was like, where you been? You been watching the Jackie Chan films? It's good.
No, he's charging up.
And then he just
Oh.
like releases it into this like rage
Just
rage sentence.
And honestly, yeah, he is.
It's literally like Dragon Ball from
Yeah, Dragon Ball-
Skyrim.
it's when he-
Shout.
no. It's like,
He's
Pusarda.
no, it's like
he's a
Dragon Ball
thumb.
Z.
He's
It's
a
like,
thumb.
no, it's like Dragon Ball when they power up. He goes
Honestly, for real.
he went Super Steph.
super step. There you go.
Blinking while drinking the air. No, Steph scares me, bro. For real. That scared me. I was like, how do you get 7 grown men to shit their pants? They were being a bit racist as well. They must have been, right? Because the lady was foreign, son. Some dickheads. He got them all to leave. And no one said anything to him. They were like, oh, shit. It wasn't the first time he did that. Once some guy, do you remember my old landlord, that old guy that looked like
Yeah.
Santa Claus?
What?
Oh.
Yeah, the guy who looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah, he ended up shooting his wife. Kind of
What?
crazy guy.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, he's no
Flag.
longer.
Oh, okay.
He comes to the house once and he raised his voice about something. Now remember, he raised his voice on my mom,
Wait.
so I'm about to kill him.
House or
Wasn't he
flat?
the
My-
guy
the
that
flat,
got
the
scared
flat,
every
flat.
time you raised your
Crib
voice at him?
1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time he thought I wasn't home. I go out and he sees me, and he's about to say something. Steph goes in front of me. "Dám problema, sure." And Steph is like, and then the guy's like, huh? And the guy's like, "Xanamiletsi, tis manas tu paramos spaso mutra sureyero." And I was like, oh my
What's that
gosh.
mean?
It's like, I'll talk like that to my friend's mom, oh man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Oh wow. Okay.
The guy never did that again.
Nice.
Steph is terrifying. Listen, he's a sweetheart, but I've seen him in action. Okay, that sounds weird.
Was he
How
still in
deep
charge
did
of the
you-
building when you
Oh
moved
my
back?
god. What, tell me?
Was he still in charge of the building when you moved back?
From prison? No.
No.
So what happened
I
was,
think they moved back, like, to the
his
second
wife
time.
took his, whatever. It's, I hate even talking
When
about stuff
did
like
he- when
that.
did this
But
happen?
he ended up shooting his wife because she took his like pension or something. He was already rich.
Man, you know that kind of makes you think how much danger you and Steph might have been in. You know,
No,
if you just
no.
if you happen to bother him on the wrong day.
No, he was.
No. If you guys bothered him on the wrong day, I'm just saying.
We always. You know how we bothered him by just telling him not to be
Yeah,
an
but
asshole.
that's what I'm saying.
He
He
the
just
lady,
shot his
the lady,
wife.
Maverick's mom. Do you remember Maverick's mom?
Yeah.
But these?
Yeah, I once opened the door and he was like, "Namura mavru," and I had a like I said, "I'm gonna throw you down the stairs," because he was kind of like judging them for their like color.
Wow.
No one liked him, and me of all people. But plus Maverick was there. So how can you do that to Maverick?
Right.
Legend, man, legend.
Wonder what he's doing.
Probably still stealing people's hamburgers.
Wait,
That's
who
not
we
a racist
talking
comment, by
about?
the
Who
way.
we
He used to
talking about?
sneak in my flat and
Oh,
steal my
okay.
food from off the table.
Was he the kid that
After
ran?
he ate, he wasn't enough. Maverick
he
was.
ran in naked.
Mom loved him, and she wanted to adopt him for real.
No, it
I
was
remember,
The kid
I remember.
That ran in
Yeah.
your apartment naked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's please. Can we elaborate on that?
Yeah.
People just think.
I know.
So what
that's
happened
all.
is
No, that's all we need, George.
we would sit down. Like I remember, me and Colin would sit down and play Call of Duty, and the door would be open because Mom would go like have some coffee with them or something. The mother would shower Maverick. What Maverick would do is, if the mom had to go or she'd get a phone call, he would get off the shower, run ass naked
Not butt naked.
into the flat. You know, we couldn't see him.
even though it was daylight.
We couldn't see him. It was dark.
And the black flash.
But it wasn't that. It was because he would always hide next to the couch. But then I was like, why? I remember getting up and I remember Con was there. I was like, why is there soap on the floor? And there's just this little kid in the corner with my food, like, these? No, God bless the kid. I wish him all the best.
And that kid was amazing. Oh,
He
my
was the best.
He's just very surprising with his, I'll say, talents. What was it, sleeping, standing up?
Oh, yeah. That was so cute.
Yeah.
He had a crush on Jasmine as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that.
He had a thing, yeah, when we'll be around, he would come
What was
around.
it?
He would see Jasmine
No.
and he would just stop and just stare at her.
Do you remember when Jasmine had some, like, I don't remember, she had some sweets, right? And so she went to offer them to him, and he tried to take a handful, and you slapped his hand. You're like, no, like, bad. Like, because he was trying to take, like, a massive handful
Yeah,
of them.
because, yeah, it's, you have to...
I know, but it was just the way you disciplined
yes.
him. It made me laugh.
No,
Like,
I didn't beat
No,
him
you
up.
did. Of course, I'm not saying that, but you just grabbed his hand. It's like, no, Maverick, no. It's like, bad boy.
You know what? He got beat up so badly, that kid. Oh my gosh. Do you know what happened to him once?
Oh, with your dad.
Oh, my dad's, like, slapped him.
Yeah, in the elevator, wasn't it?
I don't know, should we tell the story? Yeah.
Go
So
on,
what
go on,
happened
it's
was,
pretty
Dad
funny.
gets back. He's not in a good mood. He's been working for like 5 days straight. Like, and Dad doesn't work for like just a bit. He works all day. Come home, sleep, then go back. Like, that's all he did during that time. We come back. We went shopping. We come back home. And we're trying to get the elevator, and all I hear is my Vrike crying on top. These. Dad gets so mad. He punches the elevator, and he starts shouting at him, like, to stop playing. Eventually, the elevator comes down. My Vrike is still playing with it because we're jamming it open, right? We get in, we go up, door opens up. That's his Mavrike. He lightly slaps him on the face. But it was hard enough that Mavrike did a backflip, almost. Right?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Now, this sounds so awful. This is not as bad as it sounds.
It's just knowing it's your dad, I can believe it. Like,
What do you mean my dad sounded like the most
yeah,
abusive
but
human being?
the way you were saying what he did to you.
Yeah, hell
Just
yeah.
saying.
I deserved it. No, I deserved
there you
it. I
go.
deserved it.
All right.
Yo,
fair enough.
Mavrike gets up like nothing happened.
Oh my goodness, that kid. Like, I swear.
Oh my gosh. I remember going, yo, what are you?
He looks at your dad and just like, is that how you got? It's just like,
Dad loved him as well. And it was like almost like his son, you know what I mean? He was like,
What that he never had.
George, you
because
weren't
he didn't
black
have a
enough.
son, he had a legend.
George, you weren't black enough.
He had a legend. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Mavrike though. He loved your mum as well. Like, that's what I'm saying. When
Do you know when Mom got she got her like pension? What was it? 2014 again.
Yeah, I
whatever.
remember she sent money to Babarak.
Straight up, first thing.
Wow, that's not.
I don't even like saying that. I don't want to like
No,
say
is that
the
when
good
he
you
was
do,
like
whatever.
away though? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when he was away, when he was here, she gave him 100 euros.
oh.
Not to the mom, to him.
What did he do with it?
Ah, no
He
problem.
probably didn't get back to his parents. He probably just like.
Do you know what he did? Me and JJ once were there.
Yeah.
JJ was around. Mavrike wore his suit, got a little basket of food, and started walking towards the airport.
Why?
True story, I swear on everything. The police would tell you, my mom would tell you.
Why did he do that?
Because he had enough.
What do you mean he had enough?
He made 100 quid. What else does he need in life, right?
So what, he just decided he wanted to leave the country?
Yep.
I know,
Dude,
man.
he came here to scam
Jokes
you.
aside from the like every now and then I'll tell him off and things. His mom was really like intense with him. I think he got really sad because of it. Not his mom. This other woman was there, and she used to treat him like shit. Don't want to say any names, but this woman was awful. And like he would come to the house crying. So like the only way he would relax is if he sits with mom, right? So he would come to the flat, and this other woman would come after him trying to beat him up, and I would always be like, "What are you doing?" Right? And just, when Dad tapped him and he did the backflip, that's one thing, right? That's still like pretty insane. But this woman was holding a belt, dude.
Oh.
I was like, "What are you doing? Like this is not like, what are you doing? It's not a wild animal you're fending
How
off."
old was he?
Just young man. He was not even.
Because he was very short. But
Well, he
how
was old
was
enough
he?
that the only word he knew was these.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
After.
These?
Yeah. We need to say something good about Solomon.
Can't think of anything.
I can't. I'm struggling.
He's good at Overwatch.
Nope.
Easy. Come on.
No, he's
Solomon
good.
is the
He's
No,
worst.
yeah, he's alright.
Why? You know what? I got upset when he was out on the Fortnite group. I was like, "What is he doing here?" I was like,
Who doing here?
I was like, if you didn't squat up with us, what are you doing here?
Well, what am I doing here?
No, I mean that was in
No,
Solomon.
you squatted up with us before, don't we?
Oh, I have.
Oh, you're
but
worse
yeah.
as well, but you're not in the group. So it's
I
fine.
am in the
Yes,
group.
he is.
Shh, that breaks the whole story.
But I am in the group.
Okay, then he makes sense. Okay, Solomon, I
That's what I'm
apologize.
saying. I barely play, but I'm in the group
I
because,
hate on
well,
Solomon a lot because I think I love him. I think
It's pretty gay.
2018, man.
No. This gay.
No, we're
that's
just
pretty gay.
stating a fact.
No, I love Solomon. He's hilarious. Also, might be the most low key Napa thirsty human being I've ever seen. He was always Napa. And there was that one trip that was him, Lisa, and Anastasia.
Yeah.
How in Napa? What a crew.
Yeah, they asked me to go once, but I was just like.
Well,
"Are
yeah,
you serious?"
remember when we were cruising and then they left. It was that day.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, because I wanted to stay at cruise. We were having fun there. I don't know why they wanted to go Napa.
Is that the night Zoe was like, no, it wasn't.
Is that
No,
the night? Is
that
that the
was
night me and
when-
Gusta
no,
couldn't go?
That was when Maladin
Might
was
have
there.
And we were
wasn't
go
it?
karting.
Yeah, it was Martin, yeah.
Maladin was there
Think
for
so,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
Maladin was there for
and
that.
Miranda and Gosta and
No, me and Gusta wouldn't have been there if they left for Napa.
Oh.
Me and Gusta would have been
No, you
go karting.
you went there.
We were go karting
yeah,
with my dad.
You went there. I remember
Oh,
that.
okay. Maybe
Mladen
I'm
is so
different.
funny. You know what's funny about Mladen?
Nothing.
Everything. You know what's
No.
You know what's good about Mladen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, I love him.
That's the
man.
boy, man. That's the
Oh, I
boy.
love him so much. It's literally-
Mladen
it's
is
the same thing with
worst.
Solomon.
No, I would
love
say,
him,
I would
but
say,
I hate
yeah,
him.
he's one
I
of the
love him
worst
so
friends.
much.
He's one of the worst friends ever. You know why? You will never hear from him. No matter what, send him a message
George,
now.
George, we can
He
hope-
will see it in a
George,
year.
George, man, if you're listening, please just put a comment. Put a comment down. We need to know you're listening.
Marink, big up.
We want to know you're listening.
But
Mladen.
please answer your fucking phone, dude. For the love of everything. You have the phone. Come on. Stop using Tinder and start answering the phone. How about that?
You got to make a Tinder account to keep in contact with Mladen.
Oh my
You
god.
got a match first.
I'll be come on,
I
this
mean,
lad.
you know, you might be on
He's
Grindr.
probably in everything.
You
Male,
might be
women,
on
everything.
Grindr. You can look him up.
He's on Grindr.
Oh, well, there you go.
Should I
then.
say
That's
that?
how I'll find
No,
it.
no. He was doing this project at school that he had to do.
But you had to be on Grindr for a project at school. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't think any school has a project where you need to be on Grindr or Tinder.
And
Sounds
on
like a
on
good
that
school.
note, we ended up. Oh, no, that's not a good note to end on.
Yes, yes.
Is
That's a
it?
great note.
Fine.
We will
Well,
say
I'm
goodbye
glad
to
I'm on
everybody.
Grindr.
Thank you for joining the worst podcast of all time.
Yep.
Because
Second
Anastasia
episode
wasn't-
on here,
Anastasia wasn't
just
with
as
us.
bad.
By the way, it is called the Goosey Hex, by the way, podcast. Just putting that out there. So that's the official
Oh, is
name.
that why Anastasia's not with us?
That's the official name we're going. No, Anastasia is in Limassol. And then he said if he's
No, but
if
I
he's
mean,
not busy,
but
then he
Anastasia's
would,
part of the old.
Another couple pulled
if
up
he
for,
no,
uh,
if
for
he's
fun.
if he's not busy,
There's
he
4
would
people in
join.
the car.
That's a lot of
Okay,
fun.
and on that note, good night from everybody.
Good night.